Many people tend to doubt whether the stories in the Bible are true, whether there's any evidence today that points out to the events that happened in the Bible. And so today, I'm going to share 5 different real life stories and places that exist today that confirm that the events that happened in the Bible are not merely mythical stories, but historical events that happened in real life. Welcome to Beyond Earth. In Genesis chapter 6, the wickedness of man was great, and the Creator couldn't take it anymore. Humans then used to do things that were greatly and consistently evil, not forgetting the Nephilim, beings of immense raw power and intellect that had defiled the planet. God saw that there was only one option: to destroy the world and preserve just a sample of His creation. The method of preservation was an ark, a huge boat-like structure that could float on water. In Genesis chapter 8, after 10 months of the water flooding the world, the land was dry, and the ark settled on the mountains of Ararat. Today, even though there is no really confirmed scientific location of the ark, located in eastern Turkey, about 18 miles south of Mount Ararat, there is this 500-foot boat-shaped geological formation which is frequently featured in the news. While researchers occasionally report high levels of organic matter or potential subsurface structures, geologists, including those from the creationist organizations, have concluded it is an entirely natural rock structure and mudflow formation. But the arrangement of the rocks and their proximity to Mount Ararat still raises question whether these are the remains of Noah's Ark. In Genesis chapter 19, once again the evil residents of the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah was great, and it necessitated the intervention of heaven to check the progress of this evil. This time, the Creator decided to use fire to destroy evil cities and their inhabitants. In this case, to one family, the family of Lot, finds favor in God's eyes and are spared from the destruction of the cities by fleeing from the city as fire rains down from heaven upon the city and its inhabitants. In detail, they are given 2 very crucial instructions: do not look back and do not stop anywhere in the plains. However, Lot's wife failed to keep the instructions and looked back, and immediately she turned into a pillar of salt. Today, Lot's wife, pillar of salt, exists as a natural geological formation, a towering 20-meter or 65-foot column of rock salt and limestone. It is located on the eastern slopes of Mount Sodom, overlooking the southern basin of the Dead Sea in Israel. Because the pillar is made of salt, the mountain is constantly self-sculpting. Flash floods and wind carve the salt into new jagged shapes, meaning the formation changes over time. Moreover, there is an ancient Jewish tradition that says one should recite the words, "Blessed be he that judges," as one passes by the pillar. Still, it is evidence of the biblical story. Archaeologists discovered a major ongoing archaeological excavation in the Jordan Valley of Jordan, located roughly 12 kilometers northeast of the Dead Sea, known as Tal el Hammam. This is believed to be the remains of the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah because of the following reasons. The site is internationally famous for its massive Middle Bronze Age fortifications and the controversial scientific hypothesis that the city was catastrophically destroyed by a cosmic airburst. A cosmic airburst, or a meteor airburst, is a violent explosion that occurs when an asteroid or comet enters the Earth's atmosphere and disintegrates before reaching the ground. Instead of forming a crater, the object transfers its immense kinetic energy into the atmosphere, unleashing catastrophic heat, light, and a massive shockwave. Does this sound familiar? Well, in Genesis chapter 19, verse 24, the Bible says, "Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens." Excavators such as Dr. Stephen Collins have proposed that Tal el Hammam is the leading candidate for the biblical city of Sodom due to its location in the Kikar, the fertile plain north of the Dead Sea, and its extensive destruction layers. Around 1650 BCE, Middle Bronze Age, the city was leveled. Researchers have found the evidence of pulverized mud bricks, shocked quartz, melted pottery, and micro-diamonds in a thick layer of ash and charcoal. This suggests a hyper-energetic Tunguska-like cosmic airburst instantly vaporized and destroyed the city. Still, an evidence that this biblical story of the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah is a true story. The Tal Dan Stele is a fragmentary Aramaic inscription from the 9th century BCE that provides the earliest known extra-biblical archaeological reference to the House of David dynasty. Discovered in northern Israel in the 1990s, the stele was erected by an Aramean king, likely Hazael of Damascus, to commemorate his victory over the king of Israel and the king of the house of David, which is the house of Judah. This discovery was highly significant as it offered the first historical evidence outside the Bible that King David was a real historical figure and not merely a literary creation, thus strengthening the credibility of biblical history. The Cyrus cylinder is an ancient clay cylinder, now broken into several pieces, on which is written the Achaemenid royal inscription in Akkadian cuneiform script in the name of the Persian king Cyrus the Great. It dates from the 6th century BC and was discovered in the ruins of the ancient Mesopotamian city of Babylon, now in modern Iraq, in 1879. It is currently in the possession of the British Museum. It was created and used as a foundation deposit following the Persian conquest of Babylon in 539 BC, when the Neo-Babylonian Empire was invaded by Cyrus and incorporated into his Persian Empire. The Cyrus cylinder is inscribed with a declaration from the Persian king Cyrus the Great after his conquest of Babylon in 539 BCE. It is often described as the first charter of human rights and is a key artifact in the British Museum, though its loan to Iran has been a point of contention. The cylinder's text aligns with the biblical accounts of the Jewish return from exile. This confirms the event of Babylonian captivity in the books of Daniel, Ezra, and Nehemiah. Well, there are many more stories, but these 5 confirm that the Bible is not merely a collection of mythical stories, but real-life accounts of historical accounts of God's dealing with His people. Let me know what you think about today's stories, and as usual, like, subscribe to the channel, and comment in the comment section. See you in the next video.